Welcome back. It's another man. I can't see. I'm taking glasses off. It's another Monday Night Live, and hey, let's frame up. Oh, that's sliding out of the picture. This is sliding out of the picture. Yeah, I've watched all kinds of YouTube videos on the proper way to present in front of the camera. Da 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 da. Try to grow the channel, that type of stuff. Anyway, I'm supposed to be in the center, but it is what it is. Welcome back. Hey, what's up? We got two people here. Awesome. Say hi. Hi, y'all. Um, we're back on Pumpkinhead. This dude, last week, we got some chest stuff going on, and we do this craziness on the back. Focus. So that looked pretty cool. Tonight, we're going to work more back on this guy here. I'm really going to skin him out today. I think we can get most of him all the way skinned out. We might add some detail to this tail. We'll see how that goes. But we can add some skin over all the stuff on the chest and around the neck area, that type of stuff. Get the arms coated, da da da. See how that goes, and maybe we'll get some claws glued onto the hands. I think I'm gonna do the hands last, because it's gonna take a little bit of detail and time to do that. So we'll see. Zeno, what's up? Nice to see you on a live, brother. Lupin, hey, how's it going? Oh, thanks for I'm really happy with the twine. Okay, hang on. What was it? A couple Monday Night Lives ago, we were talking about different stuff and molding and stuff, and I think Lupin, we were discussing um, silicone molds and trying to do mache in a silicone mold. So this is not Pumpkinhead related. However, dude, Zeno, I'm glad you watched the playbacks. Um, and I appreciate all the comments on YouTube, dude. I always see them and I always try to reply. Makes me it's kind of nice sometimes getting some comments even after the stuff's done to know that people are watching instead of radio silence, right? Okay, so because I want to work on doing some molds and some different things stuff in the future. This is a silicone mold that I made out of not real. I didn't go buy good silicone. I went to Home Depot and bought. I can't remember. There's certain things that can't have in it. Anyway, made a homemade silicone mold that if you saw the videos where I did slush casting, uh, oh, this little dude came out of this mold. So last week I went ahead. After we got done with all the clay on this dude here, I went ahead and took some leftover paper mache clay and I put it inside this. And of course, I had a harder structure around the outside of it. This thing is literally set for over a week. It's taken a week for this to start feeling like hard enough inside here to even attempt to undo. So before we go to this guy, I'm going to try to undo this real quick, and we'll see if I've destroyed this or haven't destroyed it. We'll see how it works. I'm just curious. I want to pop it open. I was messing around with it earlier. It feels kind of like it's going to be, hard enough, so I want to try it. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. This was silicone mixed with like water, and I think uh, Dawn dish soap. And I made two that way, and it worked pretty good. I haven't done it in a long time. I've got another little pumpkin thing I made over here, and I bought some more silicone a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to try to do it again. But this time when I do it, I'm going to. I don't remember, Lupin, if it was cornstarch. I don't remember. This has got this. I know this is silicone. I know there's dish soap in here and something else, but I can't remember what it was. So that's the whole point. I bought some more silicone. Hey Lex, what's up? I've got another pumpkin over here. I'm going to try to redo the whole thing, and I'll make a video on it, and we'll see how it works. But let me see if I can pop this out real quick and see if this works, and then I'm going to get to like spreading some TP skin on Pumpkinhead here. And this is not a two-piece silicone mold. It was a one piece that I cut across the back, so it's a little harder to get out. But this took forever to dry. That's the thing I really, and it's not even completely dry. Ooh, there we go. So this is still wet. Let's see how messed up this face is. Hang on. All right, so let's let that dry and see if this will focus. So I just kind of try to smash that stuff down in there. That's not the greatest. But while this is still kind of wet, I don't know. I almost wonder if I can run. I'm going to play with this real quick. Hang on. Real quick. Right on. Working with some Monster Mud. Sweet. What are you working on, Lex? That's a Monster Mud project. What can I? Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, that might work, though. See, this is kind of tough, right? Because when I did this, I was just kind of shoving the clay into place, and my mold was actually kind of moving because I didn't make a real good mold. So it did kind of move around on me some. And I believe that's what's giving me some of these texture problems. However, I know this isn't Pumpkinhead yet. I was just too curious about this. This has got a lot of cracks. See this stuff? See this pitting? Because you're not pouring it in, but it's not too bad. And I probably could have did a different clay recipe for this. I was just playing with it. But this will dry up. And I'm going to let this dry up. And I guarantee you that I can come back later with either a little more clay, paper mache clay, and fill these areas in so I can get a smooth texture on it. Or you can just go back in with basically some wood filler in all these little holes here and fill it in that way. Not the best. This was not the best. It's not the worst I've seen, but this also took forever to dry. Like, that took forever to dry, and that clay was actually kind of wet. I'm almost wondering, I've done that egg carton clay, where it's more the egg carton stuff and more just egg carton and gosh darn it, and wood glue. That stuff dries up quicker, and that may be another one to test. So I might test that recipe too to see how it goes. I've done molds like plastic skulls and stuff and crammed paper clay into that. And that's always turned out good, and it's always actually pulled away pretty decent too. But I didn't make, when I made that silicone mold and I made the mother mold around it, I really should have made some like registers in this so it fit in tighter to the actual mold, and I probably needed to go a little bit thicker because some of this is kind of thin. Anyway, this moved around quite a bit, but it's got potential. So I'll play with some more of that and see what I can figure out. What's going on in chat? I'm not paying attention to you guys. Linda, what's up? Glad to see you on a live Monday night. Awesome. Bob is here. Awesome. Hey, Bob. Okay, Lupin, Lex, Linda, Rosani's here. Good evening. Glad you're here. Zeno, yeah, it was successful. That was successful. We can clean it up, make it look a little bit better. So Berlin says, hey everyone, good to see you here. Good to see you here. It's been a while. What are we doing tonight, Berlin? We are back on this pumpkin head. I've got to finish skinning him out all the way through. We did a lot of details last week, so I'm gonna skin him, get him all done. So maybe next week I can paint him and get this project over with. So that's what we're working on. Linda, California, how's the weather in California? Hot? It's stupid hot here in Kansas. The past few weeks, it's been like 100+ degrees every day, all the time. And we generally, thanks Lex. We generally, the 90s and stuff is kind of where we're at, and we get hundreds every once in a while. But this constant 100-degree weather is been crazy. I'm going to stir some of this mache paste up before we get rolling. That might be possible. Zeno says maybe there's a way you can maybe do a slush type of thing with it on the first layer and then go back and push that in. That might be possible. Like you might be able to take, you know what? So it's kind of interesting to try to do this with clay, right? Or with paper mache stuff because it's so much different. However, now that you said that, since my paste is generally Titebond 2 wood glue and water, a guy might be able to take that Titebond 2 and not be like this is pretty watery, right? So a little less on the water, a little more on the Titebond 2, where it still, will run around. You might be able to take. Oh, that might be a good idea. You could take some Titebond 2 with a little bit of water, just get it kind of runny, pour it in there, slush it around, let that dry. You could almost let that completely dry or tack up, or you could probably let it completely dry. Then go back, throw a little more of the paste in, and then hit it with the clay. And I bet you could create a skin texture of that Titebond 2 wood glue. I bet that would work. We can try it. It's always going to be worth playing around. Linda, all the Lindas are here. Florida girl. Used to it in Florida. 107. Very humid. Don't want to see you next. Yeah, my power bill hasn't been very good either. Craig is here. What's up, Craig? Joey's here. What's up, Joey? Craig is right. Hit the like button. It helps a lot. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Man, we got a good chat going on tonight. I like to see everybody in there. Yeah, Zeno, you're right. There's so many freaking things to try. So many different ideas. Just finding all the stuff. Oh, hey, that's awesome. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, like I said, I haven't done live stuff for too long, but I wasn't sure. Looks like Linda Hines is watching on Facebook, and she did a comment, and it came through. So awesome. I was afraid you guys would all have to watch on YouTube to be able to make a comment and for me to be able to see it. So I'm streaming tonight live on YouTube and over on Facebook on my Unhinged Facebook page. And it looks like no matter where you're at, if you comment, it comes through. Sweet. That's awesome. That is awesome. I was actually kind of looking forward tonight. Some of these Mondays I'm pretty tired because I've been out in the sun all day long, and I have to force myself to come do this. But I was actually kind of looking forward to tonight. We're just going to have some. Well, I want to have some fun. We're going to skin this guy. And maybe you guys are working on, I know some of you guys are working on projects, so cool. You'll be able to hear me talk a bunch of nonsense. Righto, righto. Oh, so you don't see any other comments? So I bet you, Linda, the only comments that you would see is someone else's on Facebook, and then they put comments down. So over on YouTube side of it, if you flipped over to YouTube and then watched from there, you would see everybody else's comments. Um, there's quite a few others in here chatting away. So yeah, that's it. Or maybe if more people on Facebook start being there, there'd be more of those comments. So cool. Well, at least they come through. They come through for me anyway. Okay, let's get this set up where you guys get a better view. And we'll get off my ugly mug. You don't need to see me all the time. Um, Linda Hines, hey, what's up? How are you? Everybody's here tonight, which is awesome. Glad to see everybody here tonight. We're going to skin this dude. We threw some details and stuff in the around the neck area and junk last Monday and built some of that stuff up. Now we're just going to lay some skin over that. I do think I'm going to do a couple just lumpy things in here that kind of look like ab type of stuff, just to add a little, a little something, something to it. Where are my pictures that I've got? That bit needs to go away. Let's see. Did I leave those things up? Of course I didn't. Dang, the Achilles tendon ruptured that. So I over 2 weeks ago friggin' blew up my ankle, and I really think um, I honestly think I might have broke some of the bones in the top of my foot too, because it's my neighbors had a boot, which was awesome, so they let me use their boot, but it's got swollen even worse. I went and they had X-rays done. They said they didn't see anything on there, but within a couple days it got worse. The other side of my ankle swelled up, and then all of a sudden my foot swelled up, and then my toes turned purple along with everything else. It got significantly worse. But now it doesn't hurt, but now it's still swollen. So we'll see. Let's do this. I'm sorry. I'll talk to you guys. I'll be here. I'm kind of tearing some paper up real quick, so maybe you can see a little bit instead of just staring at that dude. It's a boy, man. It's a boy. I could have swore, Craig, we already discussed this once already, or twice already, or on every other live already. I did. I was talking about last week, though. Did watch Pumpkinhead for the first time. Watched the original. It was great. I appreciate old shows like that. You know what the funny thing was? As I was talking about that with my wife. My wife and I were talking about it the other day. It has all. It's you just okay. There's certain things you just don't see in movies anymore, right? So it had like all the cliche, like spookiness to it. Like starts out and it's got the woods, and then there's fog in the woods. It's dark, and the woods is foggy, and you hear a crow calling the background, and a little bit later you hear an owl, and all this. Just all those things back, especially when I was a kid, right? All that stuff that you can consider to be spooky sounds. It had all that stuff in it. It was great. I loved that. And then the show itself was pretty decent too. It was fun to watch. You were in a cast, but you have cast issues. Okay. So now you're in a full boot. I don't know the difference between a full boot and a half boot. My neighbors had a boot and runs from uh, my foot all the way up to my knee. So they let me borrow that. And when I've gone out and worked, I've wore the boot, try to keep myself from tearing it up any worse. Yes, Pumpkinhead does have a pumpkin stem. Uh, seen that in some of the pictures too. I just refrained from not adding that detail to this guy. All right, this is enough stuff tore up. Let's start getting some skin on this feller. As always, if you guys have been here and watched this before, anytime that I lay skin on, or if I'm going to go ahead and add clay to anything I've worked on before, once it's dried up, I always spread some shea paste on it first, basically to act like a glue. I'm going to lay down the TP on here and spread more on top of it. Hello, fly. Where did you come from? The fun thing is now, since this is all dried up, versus last week where I was trying to build all that texture and stuff in, I can really kind of be heavy-handed with the skinning and push this down in so we can keep those details and not lose it, but also give us a skin at the same time. Shop towels work really good for this stuff too. Those blue shop towels, I've done a lot of skinning with those blue shop towels. However, on this guy, I think with this kind of fine detail, I think you might lose some of that with the shop towels. Because with the TP, you can almost make it go away. I saw, what was it? There was it was, I don't know what, I was watching YouTube channel the other day. A YouTube video came up and someone was going into like Halloween studios or trick or treat studios, something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I don't know if they're the actual ones that do different movies or whatever it was, but when they went in there, there's like movie memorabilia posters and stuff and everything on the wall. But when a YouTube video first started out and the guys went in with their camera or whatever and kind of panning around this first like office area or whatever, then right behind this dude for just a few seconds, I saw they had a full size Pumpkinhead dude in there. I rewound it. It was like, tell my wife, look at this. I'm like, they got a full-size Pumpkinhead dude in there. It's kind of funny. I hadn't really heard of Pumpkinhead until Dead End and freaking Keith, Cobwebs and Candlesticks pulled this stuff up and decided to try to me to do this, and now I've kind of become a fan of this creature. What's going on in chat? Chat. Give him a gourd and a couple pumpkins. Right on. Thanks, Linda, for saying he looks great. Hey, Zeno, good luck. Don't get bitten by the snakes, bro. And thanks for stopping by and saying hi, man. I'm glad to see you on here. Hey, Keith is here. Right on. Keith says it's Lloyd's fault. Lloyd says it's Keith's fault. I think it's both you guys' fault. Oh, shoot. I meant to ask Zeno. He did, was wanting to work on some of that wood clay, and he went and got, I think what he told me, he's got the little wood pellets that you use for like either like, I don't know if you use them to smoke with or it's just for the pellet burner stoves from like the Dollar General store or something like that. Because he soaked them in water and let them fall apart, and then made kind of a wood clay, sawdust clay with that stuff. And he sent me some pictures. It looked like it was working. He was putting it on this turtle thing he was making, which looked freaking awesome. And I forgot. I meant to ask him how it was going. Yeah, if I remember right, so I'm going to make this look like it's ripped open back here. So let's work ourselves around this a bit. Oh, where are we at? Lex, for stretch. Do you remember the slender voice stealing monsters that wore the black suits? I think I know what you're talking about. Right on, Keith. Yeah, I watched it not it was 2 weekends ago. Thanks, Craig. Craig says he loves my technique. I love it when it works right. It doesn't always work right, but when it works right, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, Keith. I can't remember. I was on. It was either on Hulu or freaking. Oh, maybe it was Prime, but it also showed on there that it showed the like the other ones. But then for whatever reason, because I was going to watch those too and rent them, and then it showed them on there, and then when I went to go watch them, it told me they weren't available, which was kind of a bummer. Because I was going to watch all the other ones. All right, so I tore some TP up here. We put this stuff on last week. The this jute twine. So if I can get this to work right, I'm going to try to make this area look like it's kind of split open. Like this busted his back open. I know that's not how he's done. But I think it would be cool, so that's what I'm going to do. Interesting. Dude, Linda, that sounds very painful. I I was at a customer's house and they had a mat at the bottom of their porch, like a welcome mat, and the welcome mat just happened to be over the top of a hole that you couldn't see. So I stepped on it and boom. That's how I injured myself, which was no fun. I think I'd rather say that I was trying to ride a broomstick. At least it would have been a better story. Yeah, dude, right. The when the baby pumpkin head first comes out, I pull that. I thought that was pretty neat too. And see, that's kind of a thing that sucks too, though. Going into this blind, making this thing. Had I ever watched the movie before, like he could have been basically been. I could have made him standing on that weird. You know how it's kind of grown up in the middle is kind of like that pumpkin patch thing and that big thing in the center or whatever, kind of like that hill type of deal. Could have made him standing on that, which would have been cool. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay. I'm liking that quite a bit. Do do. Well, thank you, Linda. That was a compliment for me and Keith. Thank you. Hmm, that's horrible, Linda. I did the same thing, but it wasn't dark outside. I sat there for about 10 minutes trying to figure out what I was going to do. For the beginning of it, I didn't even want to look down at my ankle because I knew that like my foot was going to be going in the complete opposite direction. Uh, Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but boy, I thought it was going to be that bad. Lex. So when I do mine, like those witches that I set up for Halloween, those are a mache head, but I used a hang on. Let me put this on here real quick so I can think while I'm talking. Give me 1 second. Okay, so if you look on any of the Halloween videos in the past or whatever, you'll see like two witches. One of them is kind of like a Disney-esque type thing. She used to hold an apple and stuff. Even I think there's a video from last year where her hand got ripped in half. Whatever. That head's paper mache. It's not hollow because I did uh, a styrofoam wig head base, and then I sculpted on top of that to do what I did. But basically, all my like witches and things like that, they all have PVC bodies, and I use like inch or 3/4 PVC. I don't remember for sure. I still got more in the garage. And then generally I'll drive, rebar down the ground, slide it over the top, and that's what holds them up or whatever. But as far as the heads go, uh, I just use a T, like right where the shoulder's going to be. I put a T right there and then let it go off. And then some of mine are just as easy as like the witch head, since the styrofoam, I just got like a 1/2 inch conduit shoved up inside that, and then I've got like six inches of conduit left down on the bottom, and I just drop that inside the T, and it just holds. I mean, you could swivel the head back and forth if you wanted to or whatever, but I do that like on all of them. So if you've got a mache head that's hollow on the inside, well, shoot, for that matter, dude, I've got. He hasn't been out a long time. I made this gatekeeper guy, and I think if you go back to like way back on my videos, you'll see how I made this dude with a big tall top hat, and I used cardboard from a beer box to make the top hat. So that head is empty, and what I did with it, and it was a taller head, and so he's on a PVC body. I just cut a hole up underneath his neck, and then just ran PVC straight up. So it's probably got like a head so tall. So that piece of PVC is probably like 12 or 13 inches, and I just set it right down on top. Because of the way his head is and the top hat, I didn't have to throw anything else on the inside. It stays pretty good. But if you've got a big opening, you could shove some newspaper and stuff up inside there and then slide it over some PVC and it'll stay. So when you're making those PVC bodies and you're just going to throw some, some pool noodles to thicken up the arms or whatever, and then you're draping it in clothes or whatever to mount your heads and things. It doesn't have to be anything crazy hard to do. PVC shoved up in the head, a little newspaper to pack it so it doesn't want to wobble too much. Drop it down in, and you're golden. Because when I was doing anything that was like that, like the witches, those certain witches, the gatekeeper, and I had made someone else, and so I knew the bodies were all going to be PVC, and I knew the bodies were going to basically be clothes, whether it was jeans stuffed or whatever. So the head and hands were basically the head and neck area, and sometimes I did a little bit of a chest plate. Those were the only things that were really mache on those, and that stuff set up, and then I just dressed clothes over the top of it, and boom. Because for me, when I do my yard stuff, I mean, yeah, I can make a full big dude. Like I made a big werewolf, right? He was a pain in the butt to store. But for a lot like those witches and things and other things that were going to be that size, I kept the heads mache and the hands mache and anything else that I might expose, like if I wanted ribs or whatever to be exposed. But I made everything so it would all come apart in smaller things so I could put it inside a container, throw all the clothes in, and throw the PVC parts in and put it in a tote and store it in the top of my garage. So everything was always built in a way to break down and come apart. So a lot of those things, yeah, were just mache head, mache hands, PVC underneath, and just the easiest way, fastest, cheapest way you can mount it and not let it fall off. That was always my strategy, right? If that made any sense. I might have went on a whole tangent here that didn't make any sense whatsoever, but yeah, back to this guy. Where's Chad at? Let's see. Hmm. Oh my gosh, Linda, that would be my wife because if it's on the weekend I already started having beverages, she would have had to drove herself to it. The same thing. It's horrible, but it's funny at the same time. I'm so sorry. But oh my gosh, just that would be something you'd see in a movie. Yeah, Lupin's correct too. Any void. So let's go back to this real quick. So if you got a void in there, you could take a little hot glue on the end of a piece of PVC, put it up in there and tack it in place on the inside where it stayed, and then you can take spray foam, fill that up, let it expand out. Don't go too crazy because if you didn't build your mache head thick enough, you can blow it apart. So just kind of easy with it. But anyway, yeah, you can do that too. Because I've blown some things apart with expanding foam. It has happened. All right, right on. Okay, moving on. You know what's funny? I was super tired earlier, and then I went out and got an extra strength 5 hour energy, and now I think it's got me super amped. Super amped. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get back to the back. Let me change the angle on here so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I think that's a little bit better. Which foam do I like the best? If you're asking me, Linda, foams for basically filling stuff, I use just great stuff or whatever. However, and Keith will chime in here too, and I'll chime in as well. I started playing with some of the Loctite foam. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's crazy how once you let that set up for a little bit on the Loctite foam, how you can come back in and really manipulate it. I mean, you can take a Loctite foam, let it set up for a little bit, and come back in and start rolling it. And you can make claws in your own teeth just with Loctite foam. You can actually roll it to such a crazy, awesome point. Um, it's super neat. I started playing with that this winter. I was making some Christmas trees with little lights inside of them, and I made a video. I used that Loctite foam, and I had some left over, and I just started playing with it to see what you could do with it, and that stuff's freaking awesome. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see if we can do this. And I want this to look torn and ragged. Keith says Loctite all the way. I was 100% sure that that was going to be Keith's motto on the foam. It's pretty cool stuff, though. You can do some awesome junk with it. I'm going to try not to saturate that so much. I'm going to try to just get a little bit of glue. Okay. So I want this to look like, I'm wanting this area to look like the skin got kind of busted open to create this. So I'm sticking with this TP and I'm just lightly kind of hitting that. There's getting a little bit of paste on there. And then I'm hoping that'll dry up overnight and harden down a little bit. And then maybe I'll be able to add some more paste to it after that. I don't want to fold over on itself and fall away. So that's what I'm doing. And this is it's basically an experiment. I think it'll work. I'm not 100% sure. Whoa, but I'm going to try. We're going to try. Keith, I missed you last week. I don't think I saw you on here. Lloyd was here, though. Oh, see, I just put too much. Gosh dang it. That's touchy. So I put a little bit too much on there and it started to fall down. That's going to be interesting. I might have to build that up in a few layers to make that look like it's torn skin. Oh, don't you go in there on me. Okay, let's see. Where is... See if we make this happen. Hey, Lloyd's here. Yes, great stuff all over your hands, Linda's terrible. Or any part of your body for that fact. Come on. Peel up. Peel back up. There we go. Come on. Come away. Come away. Come away. Oh, I think that's going to work. Think that's going to work. Once again, Lloyd, Keith says it's your fault that this project's happening. I said it was both your faults. I let Diablo suck me into a couple challenging things in the past, too, though. Just a touch. Not too much. Come back out here. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Not this year, Lloyd. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to move. The next Monday Night Live is going to be something simple, so we can do a build along, something like that. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing, like what maybe should be behind different deals. But I do know I want to do something a little bit easier. I was thinking about doing one of the rum reaper things where everybody can get involved, and that'd be a super fast project. I'm going to leave that alone. I don't know how. Can you guys see that? Try to make this look like the skin's peeling back away, like this kind of busted itself open, which means I need to put some skin flanges coming off there. But I'm going to leave that and let that dry up some, and I might think with that some more tomorrow. Or whenever. Really depends on how busy other things get. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, stay on there. All those little ghost guys you got, Lloyd from Cracker Barrel, those things are pretty cool looking. I may be wrecking him by doing this, but whatever. This part here is my twist on him. I know I keep moving this out of your guys' line of sight, but I've got to see. I've got to see where those are going. That's probably got to be the hardest thing with trying to do these lives is keeping somewhat of a halfway decent view. Oh, don't go away for you guys and me. Still being able to see what I'm doing. Come on, pull back out. Up, 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 up. Come on. What is it? Is there a bug in there? What is that? Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, we're going to leave that. All right. Woo. Nice. Okay, I'm leaving the back alone for now so I don't tear something else up. Linda, how dare you say latex? No latex. We will figure out a way to do mache and make it look stringy. But I got some other tricks for that stuff too. But you do have to do it uh, little pieces at a time. Dude, I bet those ornaments did go fast, man. Those things were cool. He's got, according to this picture here, let's share this real quick. Present. I want to share my screen. Yes, I want to share screen. I want to share a window. I want to share this window. Share this window. Okay. So this dude, when you're looking at this, which I know is a suit or whatever, he's got kind of some abs right here. Looks like he's got some other kind of stringy things. So we're going to do, I want to do a couple pieces up and down through here with the TP and kind of make this separation. And I think we'll do some stringy bits here. And maybe do that with, might do some stringy bits and then put it over the top right there and there. And then do that with the jute twine. Yeah, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to lay down a foundation of skin all the way down him. Then we're going to come back and put some jute twine stuff in here. And then kind of come over the top of that with some TP in this area to make somewhat of some abdominal deals in there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, cool beans. Ha! I think you did. I think you said latex, Linda. Pretty sure you said latex. Well, Keith, I added the picture. The pictures show him having some kind of weird double rib cage thing, um, and man boobs. But our guy doesn't have man boobs. We gave him some pecs, man. Gave him some, give him the top out. Well, he'd been working out with Arnold, so we gave him some pecs. Let's get this skin on here, though. I'm getting kind of quiet. Get on here. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? Let's move that down a little bit since we're getting lower on the old body here. Party to birdie. Yeah, that's gonna work. Get down. When this says strike one. No, you can do some awesome stuff with latex. Uh, Faux show. Keith thinks everything can be made out of fiberglass and latex. I think everything can be made out of paper and glue. I'll have to admit, Keith, fiberglass is pretty awesome. It's just smelly, messy, and I can't do it in my house. Mm-hmm. Did we lose Craig already? He was on here for a bit. Dude, I thought the pumpkin patch and Pumpkinhead was freaking sweet. Uh, the concept was great because it was just this twisted, rotteny kind of pumpkin patch. Really kind of neat. It's kind of what I've gotten my head for because one of these days the yard is going to be all themed out in pumpkin stuff. That's why my next video I'm getting ready to do another pumpkin style creature thing. And at one point in time in the near future, that's how all the yard's going to just have this. It's all going to be like twisted pumpkin junk. I dig that. The whole movie was cool. I liked all of it. It's a cool concept. It was fun. Totally 80s, which was great. The mound. Yeah, the mound Pumpkinhead was buried on too was super cool. I agree with that as well, Keith. That was super neat. Well, that's a pretty cool idea. Right now, I don't have any animated props. Um, but I'm going to make some. It's funny that I was a gearhead for years. I've done all kinds of different things. I mean, I even messed around with RC stuff for a long time. And to this day, I still haven't made anything move yet. Um, I'm thinking about doing a Cauldron Creek type thing, but it being pumpkin creature related type stuff. So eventually, I'm going to start making some things move just to add more interest for the kiddos that are coming up and the people that are sitting around watching. Because I get it's quite a few. I got to tear some more paper here. We get a bunch. I mean, we get a bunch of kids, and I get a bunch of parents. I mean, people come and parents come and hang out for like a long time, right? And they're um, just to watch kids get scared and laugh and do something. It's an event. It's pretty fun. So I want to make some things move. I haven't bought yet. Like everybody's got it, but there's that FX Studios with the singing pumpkins or whatever that you can project on the pumpkins and stuff. I'm eventually going to get that, and I'm just going to make some pumpkins, project those faces onto it, because I like to have some of that set in another area of the yard where people who are hanging out can just kind of listen to that stuff, make it more entertaining. I did one year where the yard was more of a walkthrough, and I did kind of Witches Woods stuff. I'd like to do that again. Because it was fun, and I think it was fun for the kids. What I like to do, because this last year we've got like Joplin's kind of this bigger city around us, and the yard kind of got picked up by the news. They didn't do a big spoof on it or anything, but the news had done like this all these houses to come check out for Halloween, right? And a lot of them were up in Joplin. And a lot of them were like light shows and things, different stuff like that. And there's another guy up in Joplin who's a pretty good deal. And then the guy kind of heard about my yard here in this little town. He came down. I talked to him and told him it was all handmade and all that stuff. So he put that on the list. And so we had, like, before Halloween, we just had tons of people from Missouri coming down and checking out the yard and getting out, which was super cool. I was hoping to do it this year, but I don't think I have the time. So what I eventually would like to do is have do like a whole walkthrough type thing, right? Like I did in the past, but it's all out in the yard, right? Make a trail thing where you got to go in, eventually come to the house, get your candy, and then finish the trail out, and things chase you out of the yard or whatever. But on those times before Halloween, because I try to get most of my stuff set up and done at least 80%, like in the first couple of weeks of October. That way people can drive by and see it. All that stuff being said, if I could get that stuff set up and have like a trail, and then have all these different, like this pumpkin, minion, and then like the witches and all the different things that I've made. And then for that before Halloween, and like set up little stand deals, right, that had a QR code, because the QR codes are easy to make and print out, and then have individual short little, just like 1 minute, almost like a TikTok style video, where when people came to check out the yard, they could actually kind of walk the path and they could scan the QR code on the display or whatever in certain parts, and see a little 60-second clip of how that stuff was made. I think that'd be super awesome, because we had one big party wagon show up with some friends of my brother's, and all the people I've never met before. They gotten out. They were just kind of rummaging the yard and looking through, and they were all like, "Hey, this is super neat," and they were, thought it was cool, but no one knew that I made everything. So like the only thing in the yard last year that I didn't make were the two skellies. So then they were asking questions, and I was like, yeah, I made that stuff. When they found out that I made it, it was like a completely different world. They were like, what? So it was kind of interesting and fun. So I think it'd be neat to do something like that. Linda, yeah, those spiral pumpkin trees, like what you see at Disneyland or whatever. I think those are cool too. However, if I did one, I would try to make this spiral tree thing more viney and thorny and rotteny and whatever, and putting some more sinister pumpkins on it. But yeah, that'd be super awesome too. Hang on. Okay. Holy cow, Linda. Yeah, I don't have to worry about gators here. That's kind of a good thing. But doing talking about a walkthrough or whatever, I did, like I said, in the past, I kind of did this walkthrough thing. I can't remember. I don't think I got a video up of that, but I did like a cemetery thing in one side of the yard, and then you kind of came into this kind of structured thing I made out of pallets that came to the front of the house, and then you got your candy in there, and then I kind of fenced off this other side of the house, and there were some trees that fall in my neighbor's yard, so I made like this witch's woods type area. All these dead trees. Yeah, I think there is some video stuff of that. Anyway, that Halloween was awesome because we only let like 2 or 3 kids in at a time, and Cam, my son, was like the gate, keeping people at the gate, and then I was going out and dressed up like a just an old timey guy, and I walked him through the cemetery and told them some BS story, as we went through the cemetery, and then they got their candy, and then inside that structure was a sign too that said like Witches Woods this way, and then at that point I would tell them, hey, you're on your own, I won't go into the Witches Woods and da da da, and then I would leave and go out to get the next group, and then those kids would venture into Witches Woods, and we had witches back there, and then other people back there scaring them and running them out another side. All that being said, it was cold. There was a huge line out front, like all the way down the block, and it started raining like at 7 o'clock. And I was convinced that people would leave, but people stood in the rain all night long to do that. It was amazing. Every time I turned around, the line was still super long. People still there. And I think we ran people through the deal until like 10 or 10:30, something like that. Cold, wet, but it was so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, no Disney style here, but you can take that. Uh, you can take that and twist it right and make something cool with it. Sorry, my son was texting me. Okay, all right, let's get back to skinning. I've got some more paper done here. Okay, hey, are we back? My internet dropped out for some reason. So I'm back. If I'm back and you guys know I'm back, type 2 or something in the comments. Let me know you guys know that I'm back. Is yes, Lupin, it's Linda's fault for saying for for talking about latex. Mm-hmm. Hi, baby.
I told you I would, but your text message doesn't make a lot of sense, just so you know.
It didn't. I asked if you or Bree would.
Any chance you slot Bree could make a drink? Hi, everyone.
You were. Hey, Carrie's down here. She says hi. She's upstairs playing video games. She's gonna make me a drink though. That is not what. That should say could. No. Any chance you or why does it say slot?
I don't know.
Okay, that's funny.
One or two.
Like do 1.5. It's Monday night. It's not like I got to work tomorrow. Wait a minute. Isn't this work right now? Officially, one of these days, maybe. Man, there's supposed to be detail on this tail too. Oh, we'll see about putting that in there. I don't know. I don't know. Do we wrap the tail? Do we do all the crazy detail on the tail too? Oh, this guy's got so much detail. I just sit here thinking about this, and I know the tail's got some pretty cool detail in it, and I'm like, do I start worrying about the detail in the tail, or do we just try to get this thing done?
Your daughter wants me to tell you she's vacuuming the car out. That's the only reason she didn't do it. I'm like, okay.
Oh, she's vacuuming her car out? Okay. That's fine. What's she vacuuming the car out with?
Our vacuum.
Huh? Rosani?
Not our his name.
And here comes
Read the
Rufus.
group rules. You have group rules.
Negative. But Linda just started talking about latex, and I was like, "What? We're not making it with latex because I'm making this
Latex costs too much. Don't you guys know that by now? Jay doesn't do latex because it costs too much.
because I'm making this look like torn skin
That
in
looks
that area."
crazy cool.
But see, the tail's supposed to have a bunch of detail too. So now I've reached this point where I'm like, how detailed do I make this to? Because it just continues. We're like, are we not like 7 months into making this one thing
No,
right now?
it hasn't been that long.
I think it's been half the year.
No,
It's
been
Lloyd's fault. Lloyd has to buy this
Lloyd.
for $4,000 when it's all done because it was taking me so long to
Don't
do
think
this.
that's gonna happen, but okay. It looks that freaking thing looks bad. Like I love it. I love it. I mean, like awesome. Like I just didn't want to cuss, but it looks really cool.
That
How'd you do that? Was that with
jute
jute
twine.
twine?
Yep,
I like it.
that's with jute twine. And his back was one guy. One picture you see is kind of got all that detail in it. Some of them don't.
Mhm.
And then I was like, man, we could make that look like, you know, when you cut a pumpkin open and stringy.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Kind
So
of.
I was like, we can go with that, make it look like it's back busted open or whatever.
It's cool. It's my idea. But then you're hot.
Yeah, that's Lloyd.
And Linda says to stop telling stories. He's a storyteller for sure. Looks pretty cool.
I was totally talking about latex for sure.
I
And
know.
then the internet went down.
Uh-oh. It did? Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness I'm not on the internet. I didn't want to mess it up. So. Yeah, blame Lloyd is what.
Was that Keith?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They were both instigators of this.
I think it would have
Pumpkin
been
head thing.
easier if you would have made it bigger. To be honest.
Yes, if this was life size, it'd been much easier to make.
Well, not even life size, just half size.
My God, where would we put it?
The first pumpkin head stream was between 2 to 3 months ago.
Dude, I swear it was. We've been doing this forever.
Because you only do it on Mondays. That's probably why it feels like that. To be honest.
Yes, and this has taken so much. There's just so much detail on this
Because
freaking
it's
dude.
tiny.
Well, it's not just that it's because it's tiny. It's because this thing's got detail out the wazoo when you're even looking at it on pictures.
You would put it on my house. Keith says. Is that Keith? Wait, not Keith. Wait, sorry.
Yeah, Cobware. You'd put it at my house. Yeah, that's Keith. Cobwebs.
Okay. I
So
thought I got it
Cobwebs and
wrong.
Candlesticks is Keith. Dead End is Lloyd.
I haven't been down here for a while. Sorry, guys.
And then Lupin is here. I didn't read the group rules.
Didn't know I couldn't mention text.
Latex.
I mean, he's just weird about it, obviously, because he likes to make everything from nothing, right? It probably
I like
would
to
be
make
cool.
everything cheap. No, latex is awesome. You can do
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
awesome stuff with latex.
Yeah, we made ears one year for my daughter when she was a gnome.
Yeah.
Like,
school.
was it a gnome or a fairy?
And she was an elf or something.
Yeah, it
or
was
something
really
like that
neat.
for school.
Of course, I didn't do very good, and Jay had to go to work, so I tried, but. And of course, kids are mean, so they bullied her and said she looks silly, but it's probably my fault.
No, I have just spent so much time trying to see if I could make things without using the conventional stuff, which latex and everything. That's why even the cotton ball and mache paste thing, cotton ball pumpkins came about, was because a lot of guys make latex and they use cotton balls to build up facial features and all that stuff. And I'm like, I think I can just do that with mache paste and cotton. So that's how that stuff even came
A
about.
gnome? You're dead to me.
Yeah, that's Keith.
Well, it was for a book character day, and she had to do it for the book she had read. So it was like an evil gnome or something. Honestly, it was an R.L. Stein book. So a glitter gnome.
Oh, that's even who said that. Dead End.
Lupin.
Lupin to the glitter. No, yeah. Keith hates glitter, and for some reason, Keith hates gnomes.
Mhm.
I think it's because you see them everywhere now.
It's been really bad lately, but
Yes.
I should know better. I've never seen him use it. Please forgive me. Oh, great one. All right.
Unless Keith said it at some point in time, and I missed the YouTube deal, he's never explained his hatred for gnomes.
It's probably because they're just everywhere, and it's annoying. But I think they're so damn cute. I just love them. I want them for everything, but then again, I don't. But they're easy. They're so easy to make that it makes it like more fun, I feel like.
Yes, we participate in some Christmas gnome making.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's not.
to be honest, I
That's
don't
not
like.
put on YouTube.
No.
We don't admit to that.
I've never liked the
Unhinged.
traditional stuff like that, though. Just like I hate red roses because of the fact that everybody wants them. Gnomes were fine in Christmas, but they started creeping
In
on
everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not even scary gnomes. Which gnomes are
I made a
actually
scary
evil,
gnome.
aren't
That's
they?
pretty freaking awesome.
Well, yes, you did.
I don't. Yes and no. I think traditionally gnomes were
Yeah, I think
supposed
they're
to be.
supposed to be evil.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Been fun, guys. I'm going back upstairs to finish my game. See if I can kill myself some more. Because it's all I do. I feel like.
Didn't you restart that from?
Yeah, I started
Level
it
one.
new, but I mean, I think I'm still on level 1. If that makes any sense. But I have been helping Bree do stuff, so.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right. I'll be down here.
I'll be upstairs. Those gnomes are easy to make. Totally. They are.
Yes, they're super easy to make.
Well, what's wrong with that? I still think he's
He's sick or something.
Yeah,
Something's
baby.
going on with him.
Come on.
I don't know what's up with him.
Let's go for it. I think he's got belly.
I'm way down here on this tail, and you guys can't even see what I'm doing, huh? So since I'm doing this leg area, let's drop this down some. Here we go. Oh. As if you really need to see me spread mache paste and lay stuff on there, but anywho. Who's going? Glitter Gnome, that's killer. Da-da-da-da-da. Ah, Linda, you're funny. Linda says freaking gnomes are the worst, too. Linda, see ya if you're going. See ya. I'm glad you were here for a while. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? I had something I was going to talk about. Now I can't remember. Oh, well. See if we can get this kind of covered real quick, and then I'll get some of this other goodness going on. Some of this leg may be a little bit of a pain, and even some of the tail, because I'm going to have to kind of pick this guy up and tilt him backwards to get the front sides of these shins, and then this, oh, hello, kneecap area. And then you got to be careful. Here's the only other thing when you're skinning with toilet paper. I was getting too aggressive there, and you can start just kind of pulling it away, where like the blue shop towels, in mache world, those blue shop towels are awesome for skinning because they don't tear apart, and you can really lay it down and make it conform or make wrinkles and stuff. They're awesome. This is a little more of a finessed bit of a situation. Mm-hmm. Where are we at? I got into concentration mode again, and now I'm not. Uh, I've lost story time. Part of me wishes this whole time that I had set up another little camera and done like put it on time lapse and got footage of all this so I could just make a normal YouTube video of this guy. However, I wasn't that smart and didn't plan that out ahead of time. Dude, dead end, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, okay, you're still here. So, Linda, you're saying bye to Carrie. Okay. Oh, my. Linda, right? You need to, next time Carrie's down here, you need to talk to her and tell her how she needs to make a channel because for the past, I don't know, 6 years, I've tried to get her to do a YouTube channel because she does all these cards and stuff and does really cool with it. And I can't convince her to do a YouTube channel. I've also tried to convince her to do just some stuff on this channel with me, and I can't get her to do it. She does some really cool stuff with cards, and she does some really cool. She taught herself calligraphy and stuff. Um, so I would totally shout out her channel if she had one, but she doesn't think she doesn't have enough. She doesn't think her stuff is good enough. She's too much of a. She's too harsh on herself, and the stuff she makes is it's really good. I'm not saying that just because she's my wife. She does a good job. And I bet if she started a channel, of course, it wouldn't be haunt related, but I guarantee if she started a channel on making cards and doing all that different stuff, it would probably blow up. It would probably do really good. And then I wouldn't have to work anymore, which would be awesome. And I could just sit around and make Halloween stuff forever. No, Lupin, I don't really. Not even a Facebook page, except her standard Facebook page, which is just her name. She's one of my friends. It's Carrie and Carrie Olson, but she doesn't know. She doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't share her stuff forever, Keith, forever and ever. Lupin says, "Do I worry about air pockets in the joints?" Um, no, dude, uh, because I'm putting my shade down first, paste down first, and then I'm smashing it into it, so I don't worry about that. And when we were first making and here's the thing too, when we first made the armature and stuff, you want to make sure you really don't have any air pockets in there because it's weak. But when you're skinning this stuff, like okay, these joints right here in this area, there is air in here, but it doesn't matter, right? Because this will dry up kind of hard, and then if I want to put some more on this, I can layer it on later on, put a little bit more on, and even here, I don't have to worry about that. This wood glue, the Titebond 2, really dries hard. So once that stuff's dry, it holds up pretty stout. And then if you have areas like that when you're skinning, and you've got these areas like this where you've created some of these air pockets in here, once it's dry, if you hit it and it's a little brittle or whatever, just lay a little bit more on it and put it down, and you'll strengthen it up. So at this point, no, I'm not worried about air pockets at all. Not in the least. if any of that made any sense whatsoever, or if that answered your question at all. Oh my gosh. One of my cats has been down here. I know it. I can tell. I guarantee you one of my cats sprayed this freaking Lazy Susan. I guarantee it. I can smell it. Oh, they drive me crazy sometimes. So annoying. But yeah, Linda, I'll totally tell Carrie later on that people are asking for a shout out for your channel that doesn't exist. Right on, dude. As long as over 72% is understandable, then we're good. Which Punky Man's that, Linda? This Pumpkinhead dude or this guy back here? Back there. Right over there. Pumpkinhead. Uh she had some of those, like, does she make them? And do you mean like the junk journals, like you tear a page up or whatever today, you tear this page out and do whatever and da da da? Because if that's the case, she's done some junk journals like that, but she hasn't. She's like purchased some and then done them. However, she hasn't made any. Um, she's got a lot. She says she doesn't have a lot of stuff here. Let me just show you something. See all that back there? So all the rest of that, there used to be a wall. Used to be a wall right there at that corner right there, and it came out this way. And so this room was like 9 by 9, and her stuff and my stuff was in here. And so all that space, all that big shelf, and that tabletop is 4 by 8. That's all Carrie stuff. And I'm the one that's down here 99.9% of the time. Dude, dead end basements can be a pain too at the same time. I've had my fair share of headaches with this basement down here. But overall, it's worked out pretty decent. The pumpkin man beside me. So that guy, he looks pretty cool. There's a video on that dude on YouTube that I dropped last week. I can't even believe I'm using the terminology that my kids use. Dad, such and such just dropped a new album last week. Such and such dropped a YouTube video. And now I'm saying the same stuff. I feel like I'm getting sloppy with this skin texture. We'll see how it dries up. Yeah, Rosani, it really has become a pretty good workspace. That's why there was such a this year. I was trying to hit hard YouTube and create a bunch of videos and stuff, but that's what took a pause because for like a month or so or a couple months, uh, I've been working on all that in the background. None of that was finished out over there. So I had to put the walls up. There was no ceiling, none of that junk. So I built all that to create the space. So yeah, none of that side over there was finished. No walls, no ceilings, none of that. And there's a laundry room beyond that that didn't exist either. So while on Monday nights, where you guys didn't realize it, Monday Night Lives, I kept this side over here. I left, there's a table like this table I'm working on. So from this table back, I left this stuff alone. And then all the work was going on over there. So like all that junk was under construction, but I still had this area so we could do Monday Night Lives and try to keep this side clean and not get a lot of sheetrock dust and everything else going on while all that crap was going on. So that's what slowed down a bunch of different YouTube videos, is because I was trying to get that done. And that's really helped. It's added a lot of space down here, and then that other table over there. If I get some, we were talking about molds and stuff earlier, and I was playing around showing that paper clay that came out of that mold I tried to do. So if I can create some molds and stuff, then I can take advantage of that big table over there too, since it's 4x8, and I can have projects going on over here. We can still do Monday Night Lives. I can still film for YouTube videos, and then I could actually have stuff on that table over there being uh, stuff curing and drying out or whatever. Man, Halloween's almost here. I would like to make another. I'd like to extend that facade out this year. I just happen to have a lot going on right now. I need more work coming in. I need more videos to be watched. A dog on the floor to my left. Yeah, we've been having an area decorate the crafts. I mean, like down there, all my dogs are upstairs. That's the rabbit thing. There's a rum reaper over there. And then just I got a bunch of junk on Okay. Try this again. Hopefully, we'll stay connected. Yeah, I saw that on my end too, so we'll see what happens now. One of these days, man, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to have one of them super fancy computers for streaming that's got more power than this thing, and maybe we won't drop out as much. My phone is just going off. Good deal. Stream is back on. We're rocking and rolling. Every single time we start this, and I'm thinking that we're going to be getting so much further on this guy. Don't happen to get as far as I was thinking in my head we were going to get. Oh yeah, a cat definitely had to have sprayed on this Lazy Susan. Irritating. This guy was upstairs on the mantle drying. It's not on him. Oh, I keep touching different parts of his legs that are wet. Getting to one of those situations where I've got enough. There's just enough stuff that's been macheted that it's getting hard to do without touching other things that are already wet. Good night, Rosani. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad all you guys are here. We got 12 of us here. Have a good evening. Have a good night. And we'll see you next week because we'll be doing it again because this guy ain't going to be done. Same bat time, same bat channel. Mm-hmm. I'm so ready for this dude to be done. Well, since Lloyd threw out the super chat a minute ago, let's talk about that stuff too. A little time for self promotion. If you like the channel, when you just come across it, subscribe or hit like, something like that. If you kind of like these live streams, you're a different kind of cat because these things are long, but I appreciate that. If you guys are looking for more edited videos, there are shorter edited videos on the channel. Go check those things out. If you feel so inclined as to support the channel further, you can always join over at Patreon. All those funds go to making cool little projects like this. Other than that, just watching and commenting and liking and subscribing, that type of stuff. Honestly, the likes and the comments on the videos, that stuff goes a long ways. Goes a long ways with YouTube algorithms, where it pushes these things to more people to go check out. It helps more than you guys know. Okay, whoa. That's a little too much right there. Then the only thing I'm trying to avoid is, I'll show you here in just a minute. As you're loading this stuff up and basically gluing this into place, gravity works against you because the toilet paper and stuff can only hold so much paste. I've got it thin enough that it runs down, and then you start getting, see how glue is pulling up around the foot. So that starts happening, and so as this guy dries up, you got to kind of watch, keep an eye out, come back in and drag that stuff away. Man, that foot looked hideous up close. Pretend you didn't see that. Pretend I didn't show you that up close. That looked horrible. It's all camera angles and tricks, people. I think the other day there were some questions on the paper mache Facebook group, which is Halloween paper mache. And I started that a long time ago. I'm still amazed that I see different things, and I just assume that everybody that found that came from this channel, and that's totally not the case. I realize there's quite a few people on there that had no idea about certain things that have been covered in other videos. Get on here. Lloyd, are you still on here, or did you disappear? I got a question for you. Yep. Okay. That the werewolf, the lichen, the werewolf. Uh, I think you had him at the Texas Homeless Convention, and then he was in that last video or the video where you were showing the haul from Cracker Barrel. Um, I assume you made him. Yes, no, no, yes. I was curious. That's what I was curious about. He's pretty freaking cool. Right on. Last year, have you been trying to sell him? I mean, was he there for sale, or is that just something that like you made just because I've made some stuff just to make, right, just to get out of myself. Um, man, anybody that hasn't seen Dead Ends YouTube channel should go check it out. He's got a life size werewolf guy that he made. You guys just saw it. He admitted to making it. It's cool. You should go check it out. I know bigger projects like that can be some of those can be a pain in the butt. The werewolf I made quite a few years ago was kind of a pain. And then the pumpkin dragon I did was definitely a pain. But I need to make something big like that again. Big's kind of, as always, for me, I always think it's fun. Man, this just keeps. I'm gonna have to watch this all night long. And you know what? Here I'm messing it up too because I started this guy and I just left this block of wood square. I should like rounded the corners out and then done some beveling and stuff and made the base more interesting. I might be able to do that once he's all done, but that would have been a lot easier to have done a long time ago. Before we started working on all this stuff. I got tear up. Oh, I got some paper. I got some right here. Let's just get after it. He's so close to being done. Try to keep my arm out of the way. There's some of these areas, though, I know I'm going to come back to for sure, whether I do it on camera or not. Just kind of looking at the shoulder and bicep area here, where this pec area has come back into play. I'll probably, after it dries out some, I'll probably bring another piece from here to here after it dries out and blend that in a little bit better. You can blend pretty decent, but when the stuff is wet, the toilet paper will only take so much paste and then it's just starts falling apart. Last year, thanks. Spiderworks joints. Man, I have thought a whole bunch about buying some, and I never have. Those joints look freaking awesome. Now, as far as the face, so is the face like okay? Because I know you sculpt and do some masks and stuff. So is the face of that thing like basically like a mask type thing? And then did you sculpt the face and basically make a mask and then put it on, or did you just like sculpt the head and then do like some kind of a resin pour type of thing? I'm just curious. That stuff's always kind of fun and neat. I've never and the realm you guys work into, the standard clay and everything else, that's a whole nother world. I've played with it a little bit, uh, but I've done so much mache stuff, and I've taught myself a kind of a certain way of like layering and sculpting and doing certain things that when I've played with normal clay, it's completely relearning all over again because it reacts so much different. You used one of my masks and foam. Okay, right on. Cool. So you made a mask and then foam filled it. Sweet. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Ah. All right, we'll do a little story time here. We're at 2 hours. Did I start late? It's like 9:30, and that shows only 2 hours and 5 minutes into this. Uh, my daughter, she'll be turning 16 next week, as a matter of fact. So she works. She has worked at. We've got a little library here, and my town is super small. Like I've seen people online like I live in a small town. Our population is only 20,000 people. Well, my population in my town is like 6,000 people. We have a small town. Um, so anyway, we got a little library, and she has worked. Stuck some eyes. Okay, so dead ended mask, foam filled it. Stuck. Yeah, it looks good, dude. I like it. I lost a lot of people. Uh, she's worked at this library. They don't pay much, but she's set back. She saved money all year long this year, and she was going to go do this um, shopping. She wanted to go to Springfield, which is about an hour away from here, and go do a shopping spree for just like a bunch of clothes and stuff. So she was going to drop like she saved herself like $800 or something like that, and she was going to just go spend it all in clothes. And then they've been planning this for like 5 months, and so her and Carrie were talking about it the other night, and I was in another little town not too far from here doing a service call, and I'd seen this little car. I was priced out at about $2,000, and she was talking about what her next paycheck was going to be. And they were talking about the whole scenario, so I was like, "Yeah, you could do that." I said, "Or," I said, "you could give me $1,000." And I said, "And right now, I just happen to have enough money that I could match your $1,000." I said, "I saw a little car for about $2,000." And I said, "And if instead of going on that shopping spree thing, if you just did that, you could buy yourself a car." And she got all hyped up about it. I went the next day to go look at the car. That one was really kind of junk, so I stayed away from it. But then we went out this weekend, just kind of looking around. Carrie and I did just a different thing. It's hard. You used to be able to find cheap cars, man, 5, 10 years ago. You really can't find them. But we came across, finally, I came across another little, I've never had a Subaru, but we come across this little Subaru Forester, and I got it cheap. Got it cheap. The $2,000 limit cheap. And it's really a cute little car. It's gonna work good for her for going to high school and stuff. It's got some problems, so I'm gonna have to fix whatever, but it is a runner. And the paint job on it looks actually pretty decent. But she's so stoked. She's so proud of herself for saving the money, and all that junk. And I'm proud of her too for actually deciding to do something responsible besides just blowing her money on clothes and stuff like that. Um, she got herself a nice little car. We got it home the other day and we washed it and waxed it and all that. Changed the oil. I had to buy a couple parts for it, and she knows that none of that's free. So she spent all of her money buying the car. So now I've set up basically a tab she owes. I'm gonna help her out with some of the parts, but trying to teach her some of the responsibilities of you not only gotta pay for the car, but you gotta maintain it, you gotta work on it. But the past few days have been pretty fun. She's been pretty excited about this and proud of herself. There's been some kids that kind of try to poke fun at the car because it's not like it's a cute little car. It's nothing like super fancy or anything. And there's some kids in her school that mom and daddy buy everything for them. And I was like, "Well, sis, you can go into school and tell everybody you bought your car because you did. You still got to pay me off, but you bought your car." So she's been all excited. It's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fun. We needed it too because the only other car I had one car running in my shop truck, and I've got the one red car in the garage that was given to me that's got a bad motor in it, and I'm in the middle of tearing it down, trying to get it fixed. So Carrie's got another car. I've been trying to get another set of wheels going, so that helps out. That gave another set of wheels, and now her and mom don't have to share a car, and she got her own. So it's been pretty fun. all my boys, my Cam, he's in the Marines. He's just now going to finally buy a car. Colin, his older brother, just got a hold of one a couple months ago, and he's 23. And they are kind of like, hey, you never. And I'm like, I try to tell you guys that if you would save your money and be responsible or get a job and then save money, that I would help. I wouldn't buy you something, but I would help. My oldest boy never got a job until after he got out of high school. And he learned real quick. So started going to college and working. He grew up fast. Cam started working in high school, but he didn't save his money. So yeah, she got the advantage that the other boys did. They all had the same. They all had the same deal. Those two just didn't take up on it. Yeah, Linda, she's super happy. All right, I'm going to skin this arm section here, kind of like I got that one done there, because we're now 2 hours into this guy. I'm probably not going to put I'm going to put those little details in I was talking about earlier in this area, but with this being wet, I think I'm just going to leave it alone and do it later. So I want to get this arm skinned, and then I'm going to call it a night this evening, so we're not dragging too deep into the evening. We're 2 hours and 13 minutes. We had 12 people, 13 people there for a while, and now we're down to just 5. So we got people croaking off. It can only last so long. And I need to go see if I got another roll of toilet paper because this one's almost out. So we'll get this arm skinned. That arm skinned. The legs are skinned. The tail still needs work. Get that. And then this week, either I'm going to wind up doing hand details and stuff off camera, or that's what we're going to be seeing next. I mean, why not? We might as well make this a year-long project, right? It's been going forever. Next Monday Night Lives, we're doing something easy, and we're going to do a build-along. Like, I'm thinking something as easy as, like, the Rum Reaper thing, or maybe like this dude back here. Something quick, something we can do in like basically 2 sessions and everybody can make. Super fast, get pictures in, make some YouTube videos of that. Because I really want to show Monday Night Live was not for me to just do this junk and people watch. Monday Night Live was for you guys to build along, have some fun, and then for me to be able to show off your guys' work too. That's what I want to do. I need to start a challenge with Patreon and get those guys doing something so I can show off their work as well. I like to see you guys make stuff. There's a guy on, gosh dang it, now I don't forget the name now, on the YouTube, the Facebook Halloween paper mache, and he made a little pumpkin dude with a pumpkin and did some stuff, and that turned out pretty cool. And then he messaged me saying, "Hey, I watched the lives." So it's neat finally get some feedback from other people, because there's times when I'm doing this, it's like crickets, right? Besides some of you loyals, we got 4 people here. Let's see. I know Linda's still here. Dead End may still be here. Lupin maybe is still here, and who would be my 4th? Who's going to be my 4th? I'm guessing. Oh, let me see. Maybe Joey. Well, Joey's still hanging with. Maybe Berlin. I don't think Keith. I think Keith is probably turned in for the night. Lupin still. Oh, I was right. It was Joey. So So Linda, Joey, Lupin, and Dead End, I'm pretty sure, are the ones that are left. I gotta see if I can find this other roll of toilet paper real quick. You guys are troopers. Let's see. Oh. Toilet paper, I think, is over in this area. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Ew, come here. Oh, this is a different kind, though. Really? It's got a funky pattern on it. Well, hopefully that's not a problem. So I started this with one brand of toilet paper. It was just a roll that I had laying around over here. Really? There's no more? Ah. Okay, oh well. So I got another roll here, and this one's got patterns in it. Hopefully, I can just put enough paste to make the. I mean, this has got freaking butterflies on it. All right, surely I can hide it. Maybe Dead End isn't here. Boy, that's thinner too. Man, that's a complete different texture. Oh, that is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'll make it work. It'll be okay, Linda. I think it's gonna be okay. It'll work. I can get it on there without. We're gonna use up this other one first. And then I'm going to resort to that. I think I can do it and make the stuff go away. I think I can. Pretty sure I can. Pretty sure I can make it work. He's going to be pretty cool, man. Once he even gets painted and it's all kind of one solid color, I'm just going to kind of pull all this together. When you see all these kind of different colors with different things, you still kind of look funky. But once this all comes together with some paint and some highlights, I really think he's going to look pretty cool. And I was thinking about doing like a pumpkin patch down in here, but probably not. I'm probably just going to paint the base black and be done with it because this has drug on forever. 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 Yep, he's going to be a butterfly pumpkin head. Yeah, the head turned out pretty cool too. Thanks, Lynn. I mean, first of all, let me say thanks. I'm super happy with the way the head turned out, and I laughed at myself. I'm happy with the way it turned out, and I'm more ecstatic with the fact the way it turned out because we did basically it created all this what you would call sculpting or whatever. It did it with just toilet paper. That's what was awesome about it. And I was just in a zone that night, like I'm not 100% that I could repeat it again, but I was for sure in a zone that night when we did the head. And I'm pretty sure that that live stream on the head is like 3 hours just working on that head. And that one didn't even get this far because I there's so yeah, we did a live stream for 3 hours working on the head, and then I worked on the head more off camera that week, trying to push this build along faster. So his noggin's got some time in him. Oh, sorry guys. A little bit of a cough there. Let's get down into here. Yeah, dude, I could totally put some moss around at the bottom of his feet, and I've got some moss stuff down here too, so that would work as well. It's a very good idea. I agree with that idea, Joey, for sure. And then any of you guys that if you comment on Facebook and then I don't realize who you are based off of different between names on Facebook and on here, I apologize. It's hard to keep track of the crossover between platforms and knowing who's who unless they're using the exact same names. That's the only reason I've used the same uh, that little pumpkin design thing. That's my kind of logo. That's the whole reason I've got that on Facebook and everything else, and on YouTube, so it's consistent. So hopefully, people can figure out. figure it out. Okay, what's that? We got this arm is. All right, let's have a look. Linda, I feel like I've missed a lot of lives. And no, there's not. I let you in on a little secret about talent. Talent is nothing but freaking. Talent is nothing but practice and failure. That's it. Just over and over and over and over and over again. See, that thing, this tail is sectioned off quite a bit. There's a lot of detail in that. Oh my goodness. It'd be so much easier just to let the tail be skin. This one doesn't even have a tail. That's wrong. See the backs of the legs, feet here? I need to do something like that too. Like there's even more detailing to build up on the back of the feet. Even this, I could do this. I could put these butt muscles in here. I could put some hiney muscles in there, make that look better. I could bulk out some hamstrings on the back of this thing. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go that crazy on the detail. Yeah, Lloyd is definitely close to being skinned. So here's where it all goes, right? I'm calling tonight at night, so I'm going to get on my end of the live stream talk about junk that no one cares about. Um, I'm going to skin him. We're going to detail the hands out for sure. Because we're going to get some claws on these fingers. And we're going to work some knuckles over, some stuff like that. I'm going to probably put about as much detail in the fingers as he's got in his hand, in the head, because the fingers are very impressive. Those long claws and overly long fingers make a character. Like I talked about earlier, I am going to come back in and do some viney stuff in here with the jute twine in here, and it gives him some abs. But man, looking at that other picture, I don't think that I'm going to try to. I mean, I could build some of this out and get some more muscle from here to here. But I don't know overall if that's that important. And then that tail is super. I don't know. You guys tell me. Should I go that extreme in the detail on that? If I go that much more extreme in the detail on this, it's just going to take that much longer to get him done, unless I work on him not on live. And then at that point, is it just like, I don't know. Now I'm just kind of ranting and raving. I mean, I could just continue on. You can put more and more detail into it and load more and more detail into it. That stuff's just, it's easy. It's just time consuming. The more detail you want to put into it. I didn't set out to start this thing with the goal of being able to make the best pumpkin head creature ever. But I would like it to look pretty darn cool. That way, when people looked at it and then figured out it was made from paper mache that they're like, holy cow, really? Because those responses are kind of fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it should go crazy detailed with it? Or just kind of like, because I could skin the tail and I could even almost kind of paint in those lines on the tail or whatever to make it look like it's got some of that separation and stuff. I mean, definitely he needs some of the ab work stuff done to him so that gets a little more interest down here in the waist area, because at this point in time, you know, the head's pretty detailed out. That neck area up under there has got some pretty good detail in it. The chest area has got some good detail in it. So for sure, I need to do some stuff with the ab area here. So it's got some detail. That backside up top, I mean, that come out, that looks pretty trippy. Pretty cool. Um, hmm. Go big or go home, Linda says. That's funny. Linda says buff up the butt and thighs. I could paint the tail rings, or I could actually like take and tear toilet paper in thin pieces and wrap it around and just kind of mache it and then create the tail rings. You can do that. We can give him some more muscles on the back side there. I guess so. I mean, here's where this is where it just gets with me on this, is trying to figure out. We've been working on this guy for like 2 months now, easy, if not 3 months. Uh, the core group of you guys keep coming back and watching this thing, which is freaking awesome. Wow, what point in time is everybody going to get bored of watching this pumpkin head guy be built? That's what I'm. There's where That's my honest thing that I'm thinking about. Right? He's fun to make, and detailing him would be, I have a good time just detailing the living crap out of him, especially just sitting around the house and working on him or whatever, because it's just fun. Adding all the details fun, and manipulating this toilet paper, making the toilet paper become detailed. That is fun to me. I enjoy doing that. But this whole YouTube thing, everything that's going on with this channel and what's happening is trying to grow a channel, trying to be entertaining, here I am talking about all this crap you guys don't give a shit about. But all that being said, I mean, if people find it interesting coming back to this guy over and over again, cool. I just don't want it to turn boring. There's my thing. So right now, so here we are on live. We're not even working on this now. Now I'm just having a deep conversation with the 6 of you that are left watching this. I just don't want this side of things to become boring and working on the same project. I am going to do some more detail. We're definitely going to be working on him again next week. Linda says, go big or go home. We'll see. Linda says, booty muscles for sure. Linda Solis says he looks amazing. And Linda, And when you look at Linda Soul's picture there, that she made the spider pumpkin when we did the spider pumpkin. I love seeing that. Reaper's Horror is here. Holy cow, I thought you were dead. Just got home from working late. Right on. Linda Hines says we're here, aren't we? All right, we'll work on some more detail. I'm not going to just shove him down yet on this. However, I am done for tonight. I am already home. That's correct. I am home. But it's Lloyd, it's different when you're just sculpting by yourself for fun versus YouTubing it. Because in the back of my head, I'm worried that you guys are happily entertained. Okay. Stopping on him tonight so he can dry up. We're going to continue on some more details next week. If I get the chance in the evenings, because I'm going to start another project for video. So if I get some chance in the evenings to further this guy along a little bit, I'm going to do that. If not, we're right back to just starting from here again next week. Next week, we're probably going to work on the hands. I want to get those done. And then we can worry about booty muscles and stuff later. All right. You guys that have been here all night long, you guys rock. You're awesome. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go tell your friends that if they're not over here on Monday nights, they're wasting their Monday nights, because watching other stuff on TV isn't as fun as this. Woo! Linda says, I'm finishing a few things I had waiting to be finished, but haven't touched my pumpkin head guy. You should get after that pumpkin head guy. Linda, see you next week. Joey, do enjoy watching how the detailing brings the creature to life. Okay. So we can keep on playing with some detail. He's starting to shape up into something. So he doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we probably need to do little butt muscles on that area. Anyway, right on, guys. You guys have a nice night. The rest of you guys that are watching this on a later date, thanks for joining and watching on a later date. And until Until next Monday. Until next Monday,